It is Vardashian, and I'm back with some more tea. So today I am going to be talking about my throuple while I set up my game room because they don't even mix. But I know I need to get my game room done because I do want to do more gaming vlogs, and I also need to get this story time out the way. So I figure since they're both going to take a while, why not just knock two birds out with one stone? Period. So that's what we're about to get into. The room is a mess. Like my bedroom, I usually keep my bedroom fairly clean and my living room, but this room is always a mess. It's only not a mess when it's always a mess. Actually, I got to get the clothes first. So I'm going to start with the clothes and then we can go right into the story. I'm cooking some pizza right now because I'm starving. I just smoked. So yeah, I was kind of contemplating on even doing this because it is still kind of fresh. And I just don't like people seeing me in that light. But we got to get into it because the story is crazy. There are three people that you all need to know about, and we're going to give them nicknames. So we have Big Mama, we have Braids, and we have Wrestler. I just moved to Florida, so I'd only been in Florida for maybe 4 months at this time. I didn't really have friends. Big Mama became a friend of mine through my best friend in Atlanta because where I moved, my best friend used to live in Florida. So he has connections around there, and I started to get to know his friends and so on and so forth. So me and Big Mama became friends. Big Mama's a boy, by the way, but Big Mama is Big Mama. A little situation happened, which I don't really feel like I need to get into, but something happened to where I had to question his loyalty, but we weren't really that close of friends yet for him to really owe me any loyalty. My best friend told me that he didn't think that I should have been friends with him in the first place, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna give him a chance. Let's see how everything goes. Big mistake. Big Mama is taking me out. We're going to the clubs. We're like having fun. He's introducing me to all his friends, but me and Big Mama did something once at one point. So that kind of blends in with the story. So I guess I kind of have to tell that story a little bit in order for you guys to get the ending. Me and Big Mama did something at one point, but it was the first night we met and we didn't really get to know each other yet. But as soon as we did it, I kind of knew like this wasn't going to be a thing. So after that, when he kept trying to mess with me and trying to deal with me, I told him like, hey, I don't think this is going to work out like this. I think we should be friends. And he was cool with that. And that's why I decided to stay friends with him, because he was cool with the fact of us just being friends. One night, I'm just like, ugh, I'm tired of going out. We see the same motherfuckers. I don't want to go out. Big Mama was like, oh, okay, well, I know some people. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's just have a kickback at my house. Like, that's perfect. Just invite some niggas and yeah, like let's have a little kickback. Let's get mixy. We're talking throughout the day. I'm at work. He's sending me pictures of the niggas who are showing up, and I'm like approving, denying. Everybody he sent me, I was okay with. There was nobody. I wasn't scoping or fishing for anything particularly, so I didn't care who he really bought. I just didn't want it to be no punks. And so straight when I get off of work, I go home and I'm just preparing for the night. Big Mama and I are still texting. We're still talking about how everything's about to go. So at that point, I think he had sent me like 7 or 8 people who were like, we're definitely coming. And I think that was good. So maybe an hour before I was supposed to start, he was like, oh, it's like 10 people. I was like, okay, that's a lot, like of people just in my house, but whatever, we're gonna roll with it. Let's just see how everything goes. So I'm getting everything together. By that point, I think maybe in 30 minutes, I'm expecting people to show up, and then someone knocks at my door. So I'm just like, he didn't text me and tell me he was here, but okay. So I go to the door, and it's one of the guys he sent me. So I'm looking around, and he's like, oh yeah, I did show up early, my fault, so on and so forth. In my mind, I'm like, bitch, like if you know you're early, why would you come? So I let the boy in. I wasn't going to be no weird bits. So I said, you can come in. He's in there. I'm like, come on, let's take shots. We take shots. And maybe 5 minutes later, Big Mama pulls up. But Big Mama pulls up with 2 other guys. And the 2 other guys are Wrestler and Braids. And the Braids is the one who I found attractive. So they pull up. Once they come in, we start taking shots throughout the night. It's cool as hell. Everybody starts trickling in. We're having a great time. We're playing games, the whole nine. So Also, throughout the night, I can tell that Braids and Wrestler were flirting with Big Mama, which is my friend. So I just left it alone because if it comes down to a man, a nigga, or my friends, it's always gonna be my friends. So the night ended on a good note. The next day, I hear a phone ringing downstairs in my living room, and I was on my phone talking to my friend. So I knew it wasn't my phone. I went downstairs, grabbed the phone, looked at it, realized it wasn't mine. So I'm like, someone will come and get it. 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, Wrestler shows up at my door. So I'm like, oh, that's your phone that you left. So I go grab his phone, bring it to him. He's like, yeah, me and my boyfriend, Braids, uh, really like you. Like, we think you're dope. And so we exchange numbers. And I gave him my Instagram, my number. He starts texting me, and so does the boyfriend, but they're texting me separately. But it's not weird or awkward. But I'm like, okay, whatever. They're not really flirting at this point. They're just saying like how dope it was throughout the night. So they're like, yeah, you got to throw another one or whatever. So cool. I call Big Mama because that's my friend. I'm like, yeah, he showed up. Like, I think they was texting me, and yeah. Like, I think that I'm in there. Here go Big Mama. Oh yeah, they're easy. Like if you want to fuck with them, they're easy. I wouldn't. They be fucking with everybody, all this shit. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like I don't care. They're not my. It's not my nigga. Like I don't care. She's just constantly saying bad things about them, and all these things are just making me feel like she wanted me not to fuck with them. But I'm like, bitch, just say that. You're my friend, bitch. If you don't want me to fuck with them, then I won't fuck with them. But if it's not directed, then it's not respected. So I don't care. So Big Mama asked me like, "Oh, can we have another one of the kickbacks?" And I'm like, "Yeah, cool. We should definitely have a kickback." Not the next day, but the following day after that, I had another one. All the same guys came. I think one extra guy came that wasn't there before, but other than that, everybody else was there. Throughout the night, Braids and Wrestler are texting me, and they're saying I'm cute and all this stuff, but they're texting me separately, and they're not doing it secretly either. So they're making it very known that to each other, I guess, that they're texting me because they're looking at each other, they're looking at me, just being very flirtatious. And I was okay with that. I didn't care. Like whatever. Yes, yeah, if y'all know, then as long as I don't feel like I'm being sneaky, then I don't care. So Braids texts me and says, "Hey, come outside and smoke this blunt with us real quick." Which I didn't mind because my friend Big Mama was in there, so I'm like, Big Mama can hold down the fort while I go work my set. I go outside to smoke the blunt with them, and they're just telling me like, yeah, we fuck with you, we want to talk to you, we want to get to know you. We were wondering after everybody goes home, can we come back and bust it up with you? So I'm like, yeah, definitely, y'all can come back and we can talk and chill or whatever. So at this point, it's maybe 2 a.m. Big Mama comes out. When Big Mama comes out, the way my house is set up, as soon as you walk out my front door, there's two parking spots right in front. So they were parked right in the spot that I usually park my car in. And so as he walked out, he seen us and he just made this face like, and I just start laughing because at that point I'm like, I mean, I don't feel busted, but bitch, if you want to say busted, then hey, busted. Jigs up. Big Mama comes out and asks them like, oh, are y'all ready to go? Because they were going to drive him home. They're like, no, not just yet. We can leave in a little bit. We'll probably leave in an hour. Big Mama's like, cool. So we all go in the house at that point. But the rest of the night just seems like it was starting to get weird because Big Mama just tried to make it very known to everybody that me and him did something at some point. So he's making all these points that just don't need to be made. We're playing games, and he's just trying to make it very evident that me and him did something. And it's just corny as hell to me, but I just paid him dust and was like, girl, whatever. They leave to take Big Mama home, but Big Mama only lives 7 minutes away from me. So it took them about 30, 45 minutes to get back, and that kind of threw me off because if he only lives 5 minutes away, what took 45 minutes, 30 minutes? But I'm also like, nothing could have happened within that time. Nobody's my nigga, so I don't care. I just don't like when people try to play with me. So we're chilling for hours. I mean, I want to say 3, 4 hours by this point, and then we all, did the deed. I was kind of shocked because it was just very different from anything I experienced because I was both equally attracted to both of them more than what I thought I would be. So it was cool. It was dope. And I didn't feel awkward. They didn't make me feel awkward in no way, shape, or form. And it just felt very natural the way everything happened. The next day after they left, maybe 30 minutes after they left, Big Mama calls me. Now, I already have my guard up with Big Mama because I already know how Big Mama is. So I'm not telling Big Mama my tea yet about what happened between me and Braids and Wrestler. But Big Mama makes sure to tell me, like, oh yeah, when they dropped me off, they was trying to fuck with me and they was trying to suck my dick and I said no, so I'm not fucking with them and so on and so forth. So in my mind, I was kind of thrown off. I wasn't mad, but I was definitely like, oh, I'm not fucking with them no more because that's a possibility. Because, like I said before, it's only 5 minutes away and it took them 45 minutes to get back to my house. So I took that word as bond. They're messaging me on Instagram, they're texting me, they're blowing me up. I'm not answering them at all for maybe a good week. So Braids winds up messaging me and he said something that caught me off guard. He was like, I don't know what we did to you, but I really just thought what we had was genuine and I'm just so shocked that it's come to this. So that kind of pulled on my heartstrings. So I told him like, hey, it's no bad blood. I just felt I heard some stuff that kind of threw me off and I just don't like to be in the mix of a whole bunch of stuff. He said, well, we heard some stuff about you too and I didn't make us not fuck with you no more. So that rang a bell in my mind because I'm like, hold up, bitch. Like, what you mean you heard about me, bitch? Because you don't know nothing about me, pussy ass. I called him and I'm like, yeah, what you hear about me? Because I don't play the message game when I start. When it comes to that, no, boo. So he tells me, well, Big Mama told us that you get around and you do this and you do that, and he was thinking about messing with you, but he decided not to mess with you and just be friends y'all because you're basically because he was saying I was a hoe. And I was scared because I'm like, Big Mama, bitch, you be tweaking me. And I wanted to pull the receipts out, but I don't know them for real. So I'm like, I'm not even going to do that right now because I don't know y'all and I don't know what y'all are going to relay to him. But I was like, that's not true. That never happened. If anything, he be trying to fuck with me. And I decided that we're just going to be friends. So whatever he told y'all was a complete lie. So as we're wrapping up the conversation, I'm very apologetic about how everything kind of played out. And I thought that was super dope. And they invited me to dinner later on that night. And once they invited me to dinner, I was like, okay, yeah, like I'm fucking with them. These are some real niggas. So I go to dinner with them that night. They came and picked me up. We went to a nice restaurant. They fronted the bill. Took me to the bar later on that night. We went back to my place, busted up, and like talked. By that point, I'm like, oh yeah, I really fuck with them. And mind you, these are the only guys who I have had sex with besides Big Mama while I've lived in Florida. Big Mama was the first person I had sex with. Them or that's the second and third person. But after that, I wasn't really having sex with anybody else but them. And it wasn't purposefully, it just was kind of like already overwhelming at the fact that I was consistently having threesome with these guys. Not only that, we started to go out of town with each other. Like a wrestler is a wrestler, so he wrestles for like the WWE or something like that. And so we would go out to his little things where he would wrestle. And so we went to Miami. We were going to all these places, and it just really felt very natural. And I was enjoying everything, but I kind of felt like everything had to be a secret because they were still cool with Big Mama. And I didn't have beef with Big Mama, but I just wasn't talking to Big Mama because I already knew how she was moving. I just realized that, bitch, we're never going to be good friends. So that just was what it was. Everything's going great at the beginning. Like I said, trips, food, chill time, quality time, whole nine, everything's great. But one day, Braids texts me and he's like, hey, I was wondering if you wanted to go grab a bite of food. Now, it kind of threw me off just a little bit because none of us ever chilled without each other. So I've always chilled with both of them at the same time. So this would have been the first time that I ever chilled with him singularly. And he texts the group because by that point we have a group chat and everything. Like all of us are texting together in a group chat, the whole nine. And he texts in the group chat like, hey, what's up, wrestler? Bar and I are about to go grab a bite of food. So I'm getting ready. I'm not paying attention to my phone. I go back to my phone. I see there's hella text messages. When I looked at the text messages, I seen that wrestler had texted back like, I want to let y'all know I'm not comfortable with that. And like, that's not cool. I'm not fucking with that. Whatever. I didn't take it personally. I was like, okay, whatever. That's your nigga. Like, if you don't want your nigga to be taking me out to eat, like, okay, I feel it. I'm not mad. I didn't make it a big deal, but I can tell that it was a big thing for them. I left them alone for a few days. Wasn't no beef. I just wasn't talking to them. And they also weren't texting me either. So it wasn't like oh, they're blowing me up and I'm ignoring them. It wasn't anything like that. A few days later, they text in a group chat with another apology, basically apologizing for what happened, and they didn't want to put me in the middle of it, so on and so forth. And did I want to go to Orlando with them that weekend? So, of course, I'm like, yeah, we can go to Orlando. We always have a great time when we go out of town. So We went to Orlando. Everything's cool. I could tell it was a little bit more like the tension wasn't high, but it wasn't like it just wasn't as normal as it was. I'll say that. We go back to Florida. Braid starts texting me on some like, "Oh, I like you. I like fuck with you or whatever." Like separately. I'm starting to feel a little bit like scandalous because I feel like I'm texting him separately, but I'm still chilling with both of them at the same time, knowing that Braids is fucking with me more. And not gonna lie, I'm fucking with Braids more. I like him. That's the one I like. But it's only physically that I like him that much. When it comes to personality wise and when we chill, it's equally yoked amongst all of us. So I wasn't trying to fuck that up based off of just physical attraction. So eventually I decide I'm moving back to Pittsburgh with my family and stuff. I tell them that, and when I told them that, I can tell that whole night Braids was turned off. Like he was pissed. You can tell he was mad at his nigga. He was mad at everything. But I knew it was because I told them that I was moving to Pittsburgh. A week after they found out I was moving to Pittsburgh, Braids came to my house and was basically like, "Hey, I want to be with you. I love you. I don't want to lose you, and I have this money saved up." He was from Spain, so he was asking me like, "Hey, I was wondering if you don't move back to Pittsburgh, just come back to Spain with me, and we run off together, and we just live this happy life." Now, originally, I'm like, "Oh, that's just crazy." Like, I couldn't even, no, like, I'm not doing that. After a while, I was kind of like, okay, it sounds kind of good. Like, I know I'm never going to have to pay for anything. I know I'll be good. But then I came back to the real realization that the same way I would have got him is the same way I would have lost him. And I would have been damned if I would have been stuck down Spain with somebody who would have left me. And mind you, him and his nigga were together for 11 years. So to just up and be comfortable just up and leaving him after 11 years with somebody you brought into a throuple with, it was just crazy to me. So I kept like stringing him off like, no, like I don't not like you. I just need to figure out my life first before I just jump into this whole nother life with you. Eventually, Wrestler catches on to us texting and says something to Braids, and Braid says something to me, and I was basically like, "Oh, I don't want to be a part of that." But even though I did play my part in it, I was like, "That is your relationship," and I knew I should never did it in the first place. But me being a Sagittarius, always testing the waters, I just had to see how far everything was going to go. Eventually, Wrestler was not that mad about the whole situation. Was just like he understood why he liked me because Wrestler was like, "I like you too, so I understand why he likes you the way he does because I like you in that same way. I just wish he didn't pursue it the way he did, whatever." So we're still hanging out. I'm packing up to move to Pittsburgh, and they're on some shit like, "Okay, well, we will drive you to Pittsburgh and then just catch flights back. We'll get in the U-Haul. We'll all get the U-Haul, help you pack." The next day, Braids calls me and he's like, "Hey, Wrestler is feeling sick, so I'm just going to come by myself." I'm like, "Okay." He comes. I can tell that something is super weird and I'm just paying it because I have other things to be worried about at the moment. Eventually, I'm like, "Okay, so what happened?" And he's like, "Well, I can tell that Wrestler was manipulating me into not coming here. He was trying to act sick, and I knew he wasn't sick. He just didn't want us to come and help you. He was basically trying to leave you in the dust." So I'm like, "Okay, whatever. I don't have time for that." He pulls me in to towards him, and we just start kissing. We're kissing, like passionately kissing, like you can tell this is the last kiss. 2 seconds after we're done kissing, Wrestler walks in. And he's like, "Oh, I just wanted to come check on you." He tried to act like everything was cool. And so did I. I played it cool. I wasn't about to sit there and act like I had no problem with you. You're the one who didn't come. I was acting like I didn't know anything at all about what just happened. So Wrestler comes and they're there. They're talking for like 5 minutes. Wrestler pulls off and goes across the street and he's just looking. After maybe like another 20 minutes, he leaves. Right when after I'm done packing, everything's in the truck. I get in my truck and uh, me and Braids are looking at each other and we're just like, "Yeah, so this is it. This is it." And I pulled off and I left off on my merry old way. I finally gets back to Pittsburgh. Braids calls me and he's like, "I'm not going to lie, I'm very upset with you." And I'm like, "What?" He said, "Big Mama told me that the night before you left, you called him and you were crying about how you missed him and how you loved him and you wanted to live with him and shit. So I crashed out. Big Mama, bitch, I need that with you. Till this day, Big Mama, I still need that with you because, bitch, don't play with me. So when he told me that, I was just on the phone like, bitch, now you got me mad too because you even believe this, bitch. You know everything that happened with him and how everything went down, and you still believed him about him saying I was crying to him, saying I wanted to stay. You helped me pack my stuff to leave. So how could I have possibly ever cried to him about me wanting to leave when you were there when I left? It just didn't make sense. And the fact that he even believed that in any way, shape, or form, now I don't fuck with you or none of y'all. And yeah, that's pretty much how that went. And I'm not gonna say I never talked to him again because he kept trying to talk to me after that, but he realized like, oh, I was really done because that was some bullshit. So yeah, never again. First and last throuple. We'll never do that shit again. But I barely cleaned my room, so I'm gonna clean it and I'll just show it to y'all at the end. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and let me know what would you have done differently. And he got fight stories to tell. I see both sides like Chanel. See on both sides like Chanel.